So in today's video, we're going to be talking about peptides for parents. So why should your parents take peptides and how would they benefit from them? We're not just talking about parents here, we're just talking generally about older people and adults and why I think peptides are an incredible tool for longevity and anti-aging purposes. As we know, when you age, things in your body downregulate. Cell regeneration, your mitochondrial function, as you can see, a few other things down here, your immune system, metabolism. I believe very strongly that, through dieting, sleep, activity, exercise, and we have other things, testosterone, we know as you age, your testosterone declines, and nowadays there's a lot of external influences, microplastics, PFAs, hormone disruptors in the environment, which will interfere when you're older with your hormones. Whereas, some things like your metabolism, these things indirectly are affected. They might not be intentional, but your metabolism will eventually decline as you get older. Your body will slow down, and that is inevitable. However, peptides can take a role in helping to prevent and improve this in some cases. So the primary reason for using peptides is they help upregulate processes the body may be slowing down on. They serve as tools for anti-aging purposes. So we want to look at this as you can reduce the likelihood of developing certain diseases like cancers, diabetes, Alzheimer's, dementia, the more chronic diseases that you develop as you get older. Likelihood of weight gain, as we know, poorer metabolism leads to increased chance of weight gain because your insulin sensitivity is lower. Alongside maybe a poor diet, you might not be keeping on top of exercise. These things, they do build up. Improving appearance is a big one. Peptides nowadays they're a social trend, and a lot of people are using them to improve their appearance. But as we know, when you get older, wrinkles, them kind of things will start to come in, just from collagen depletion, which is a normal thing. Mobility, energy, mood, hormonal function, these things can be improved through peptides. And I've written here that they are simple and quick to use. Taking a peptide, it takes 1 minute to take a few. And the reason you want to inject them is because, they bypass the skin barrier, they bypass the digestive system, so they really do target at a cellular level, which a pill or any topical products they can't do. First peptide we're going to talk about quickly is GHKCU. I'm going to try and go through these peptides reasonably quickly. So GHKCU, anti-aging, physical appearance tool. This one's mainly just for your, collagen, youthful gene upregulation. As we know, GHK is found in human plasma. It's found in over 4,000 genes within the human body. Usually, around 30 years old, these levels do deplete from anywhere from 40 to 60%. This is just because of, as you get older, your body's becoming less efficient at doing certain things. And collagen, as we know, is an extremely important thing within the human body that can manage skin quality, joint mobility. Collagen has so many roles within the body, and it's a very, under-talked about thing. It's crucial, really. So I would recommend this as kind of the first option. It's very safe, it's very common, very well researched. Secondly, we have MOTS, which is a mitochondrial peptide. It's also DNA encoded, which makes it extremely potent and effective. And it has regenerative properties in mitochondrial health. So this can improve your metabolic health. It can increase energy expenditure and fat oxidation. You can also improve your insulin sensitivity, which, in my opinion, is the most important thing within the human body when it comes to weight management, because the lower your insulin sensitivity is, the poorer your ability is to burn fat. MOTS is also very well researched and is a safe peptide. They all are safe, but I'm talking safe as in, the case of a new person using it that doesn't really understand it. Whereas we talk about something like retatrutide, which has, more side effects. It's quite a potent peptide in the mechanism itself. You will feel it. Whereas MOTS, you will feel it, but not to the extent that you might feel something like retatrutide. But it's also very beneficial for adults through the metabolic improvements, which I mentioned before. It can improve your physical performance, so possibly gym athletic performance, mobility. Next, we have epitalon, which is a DNA-based telomerase stimulator. It's also a very potent anti-aging peptide. So, quick explanation, I'll be very brief. Telomeres are basically DNA caps, and as you get older, they shorten, and the more they shorten, the more likely you are to develop chronic disease through DNA fraying. So if you think about it, the DNA phrase and unhealthy cells are allowed to come about, and this is something that is a primary driver for chronic disease. So Evitelon extends your telomeres. It can also improve your circadian rhythm, which, if you don't know, it's the body's internal 24-hour clock. So essentially, this reduces chance of developing chronic disease. It's one of the strongest anti-aging mechanisms, and just mentioned a reduced chance of developing cancers and other disease. So Epitalon's a great one. You only need to cycle it for around 10 to 20 days, so it's not something you have to do for a long time. It's a quick one. Of course, retatrutide was going to come up. Triple agonist, Eli Lilly's new Ozempic, Mounjaro. It's glucagon, GIP, GLP-1 receptors. The new receptor, glucagon, will help your energy expenditure and your fat oxidation. So if you think about all these three mechanisms together, they work extremely well synergistically. It's currently trending for, shredding, losing fat, for gym bros, but it serves a much greater purpose in the role of anti-aging, especially for older people who have poor insulin sensitivity. So I do believe retatrutide it's going to be a $1 billion drug. I think it's going to be one of the biggest drugs in the world. And I think, there is no problem with taking it as an older person. It has much better long-term sustainability than tirzepatide and semaglutide, also known as Ozempic and Mounjaro, because the glucagon receptor really does add a lot of value to the peptide itself. Human trials have just concluded, and the peptide is expected to be commercially sold within the next year. So, this is a gold mine for Big Pharma, but it's also a gold mine for us because it is an incredible peptide. Thymosin alpha-1, immunomodulator, helps your immune system. Basically, it increases the proliferation of T cells, which kill pathogens and unhealthy cells, and it can maintain immune homeostasis by balancing cytokines, which are inflammatory proteins and molecules. Protective against general infections, but it's also protective against development of unhealthy cells, which could lead to something more serious. So it's also well studied for immunomodulation, and it is actually prescribed in certain use case scenarios. Now I've got 5 more here which I've put up. We've got secretagogues, tesamorelin, ipamorelin, CJC, obviously for your hormones. TB500, SS31 and FOXO4 dry, which is an extremely interesting one. I will be going over these in another video, just because I want to keep things relatively short. But if you enjoyed the video, then subscribe. Drop a comment if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next one.